So good evening, everyone. Welcome to Drop-In Meditation. And you're dropping in via your computers. Coming to you from Vajrayana Institute. I trust everybody is well and happy and finding lots of innovative ways to work with having to stay home. There's a good side to everything. So let's begin by setting a positive motivation. If we look at a lot of problems in the world, we can see that many of them have been caused by greed and selfishness. Wanting to look after number one at the expense of others. So let's move away from that and open our hearts, having the thought that whatever benefit I get from this evening, may it be not only for myself, but for everybody else that I come into contact with. And now taking time to settle and calm the body. So make sure you're comfortable, whether you're sitting on a chair or a cushion on the floor. Some people like to meditate in the supine position. That's also fine. The most important thing is that your spine is straight and your body is relaxed without tension. So be aware of your body, where your body is in contact with the chair or the cushion. Be aware of your hands. If you've got your right hand on top of your left, with your thumbs lightly touching, be aware of the contact there. And starting at the top of the head, let's scan the body for any areas of tension or discomfort. Make sure that your clothing is not too tight. Moving down from the top of the head, over the forehead, being aware of the temples, and relaxing with each out-breath. Checking all the muscles around the eyes, relaxing, releasing, letting go. Relax the eyes themselves by having a soft gaze, as if you were daydreaming. Moving down over the cheekbones, the area around the mouth. Relaxing the mouth. Relax the jaws. If you have your mouth ever so slightly open, it's impossible to clench your jaw. And that's something we often do unconsciously when we're concentrating. Rest your tongue behind the top teeth. Your whole face should feel soft and relaxed. Relax the throat. Move gently back to the top of the head and travel down the back of the head to the base of the skull. Again, checking for any tension and releasing the tension with each out breath whenever you come across it. Moving down the back of the neck. And just having a sense that the whole of the head is now relaxed, comfortable. Check the tops of the shoulders, common area of tension. You may want to lift your shoulders up and drop them 2 or 3 times. Checking the shoulder blades, relaxing, releasing. Traveling down the spine, all the way to the tailbone. And coming back again to the tops of the shoulders, traveling down the front of the body, the top of the chest. Belly, soft, relaxed, comfortable. Again from the tops of the shoulders, traveling down to the elbows, wrists, hands, back of the hands, palms of the hands, all the way to the fingertips. And having sense that the whole of your body down to the buttocks is relaxed, at ease, feeling calm, peaceful, and supported. And focusing on the hip joints, traveling down to the knees, knees to ankles, ankles to feet, soles of the feet, the top of the feet, and go all the way to the tips of the toes. Just sit for a little while and enjoy the feeling of the body being still, supported, and peaceful. So now we're going to move into our breathing meditation. And our task here is very simple, but as I often mention, not necessarily easy. So our job is to merge our awareness with the breath and to notice when the mind wanders. And if and when this happens, not to be upset or agitated or angry with yourself, simply notice that the mind has wandered and bring the awareness back to the breath. Try to be aware of the whole of the in-breath and the whole of the out-breath. And you can focus at the nostrils, the air entering and leaving the nostrils, or you can focus on the rise and fall of the abdomen with each breath. So let's begin the practice. If you can, have your eyelids lowered but not completely closed. Don't close your eyes. Just try. Leave them slightly open so that some light comes in. And that can counter our tendency to fall asleep. If you find that difficult, just practice for short periods of time. Your chin should be very slightly tucked in. Remember, if thoughts come up, don't allow them to carry you away. They'll take you on a trip into the past or into the future or into some fantasy. Don't get on the train. Simply notice that you've been distracted and bring the awareness back. Be particularly wary of worrying thoughts. If you jump on that train of thought, you will write a 500-page novel and the whole story will be full of worst-case scenarios. So a thought is just a thought. No need to follow it. And if you become aggressive and try to push it away, it will push back even harder. So notice that you've been distracted by a thought and bring the awareness back to the breath. Again and again, and many times as necessary. Keep that mind of awareness, which is the rider on the horse of the breath. Falling off is fine, as long as you get back on. Remember, we are practicing merging the awareness with the breath. Remember too, you don't need to control the breath in any way. Just let the body breathe. It knows how to do this. So if you need a stretch, have a little stretch now. have a sip of your nice warm drink on this cold night. I'll have a sip of mine too. Lemon, ginger, honey. Yum, yum. Okay, so now we're going to do a meditation called continuum. So that's pretty self-explanatory. And it also touches on interconnectedness. So once again, settle your body. Make sure you're comfortable. And just touch base again with your motivation. So there are no ends in life, only processes, change. As you breathe, draw your awareness into this moment. Exhaling, allow your awareness to flow effortlessly into the next moment. Inhaling, stabilize and focus your awareness into this moment. Exhaling, feel the flow of your being unfolding, moving, and continuously expressing itself through the medium of time and space. Standing in the present, figuratively step into the future and leave the past irretrievably behind you. As you move, feel yourself emanating and moving forward through space and time. Imagine that as you move, you trace a pathway of light and energy through the fabric of space and time. Imagine that if you turned around, you could actually see this luminous path like a firefly in the night. Now imagine the path you have traced through the world today. During the past week, the last month, although it's been pretty quiet, I suggest here that we go back to before the virus. Sense the patterns, cycles, and rhythms of your goings and comings. Imagine arising and retracing your steps as you moved around the house, drove to work or school, dropped into your favourite stores, visited friends, went for walks or bike rides. See your life as a continuum of light energy patterns unfolding through space and time. Imagine the pattern of your continuum unfolding since you were born. Even try to imagine the energy patterns of the body you were in before this one. And the one before that, and so on. Back and back. Not saying that you have to believe in rebirth, but perhaps for the purpose of this meditation, take it as a hypothetical. Really experience yourself as a dynamic process, expressing and unfolding itself through space and time. Imagine the tons of universal matter that have sustained you and that you have burned as air and water and food during your lives journey. Imagine your moments of being in love, your experiences of joy and anger. Feel how your energy pervades space and affects the people all around you. See how even a simple apple is a continuum, a fusion of sunlight and water, earth, air, and the trees and apples that came before it. Think about the kindness and work of the many people and creatures who have caused you to finally have this apple. Ask yourself, where does this apple energy begin or end? Where does your field of energy begin or end? Imagine your friends and companions. See them as merely a series of perceptual snapshots of a continuum of being. See the forest flowers, objects are simply a process. Trace the fabric in your clothing back to its organic roots in the earth. See everything as interwoven pathways of light and energy, unfolding through space and time. People, planets, galaxies, atomic clouds of energy whirling, unfolding, beginninglessly and endlessly through time and space. Thoughts, dreams, fantasies and memories, all the play and process of your mind. Exhaling, imagine releasing some old grudge or limitation. Inhaling, receive new strength, wisdom, and energy. Use the cycles of your breath to let go of old limiting postures, attitudes, and emotions that keep you from moving freely through life. And each time you breathe in, receive inspiration to nurture those qualities that you wish to strengthen. Life is made of moments. What ripens in any moment are seeds sown in the past. In this moment, choose consciously to sow seeds for happiness and health in the future. Breathe your awareness into this moment. As you exhale, allow your continuum to unfold with peace, balance, and joy. Little kind of haiku poem here. Nature ever flows, stands never still. Motion or change is a mode of existence. The poetic eye sees in man the brother of the river, and in woman the sister of the river. Their life is always transitions. Hard blockheads only drive nails, all the time, forever, fixing. Heroes do not fix, but flow, bend forward, ever, and invent a resource for every moment. So this is a very useful exercise to do when we're breathing. Remembering the continuum of our consciousness, of our life. Seeing how everything is interconnected. And choosing as we breathe out to let go of all that is negative and unhelpful. And as we breathe in, to reinforce all our innate positive qualities of loving kindness, compassion, and wisdom. So I'm going to finish with my favourite dedication prayer. I thought I'd left the book open, but my big gremlin came in and closed it. It's here somewhere. Meditation, multiplying mantras, da-da-da-da. Should be in the dedications. Sorry, folks. Okay, as I often mention, this is a prayer from Shantideva, who wrote the Bodhisattva's Way of Life. And it's a dedication prayer, and it's also one of His Holiness the Dalai Lama's favourite dedications. And I think it's very beautiful. May all beings everywhere, plagued by sufferings of body and mind, obtain an ocean of happiness and joy by virtue of my merits. May no living creature suffer, commit evil, or ever fall ill. May no one be afraid or belittled, with a mind weighed down by depression. May the blind see forms and the deaf hear sounds. May those whose bodies are worn with toil be restored on finding repose. May the naked find clothing and the hungry find food. May the thirsty find water and delicious drinks. May the poor find wealth and those weak with sorrow find joy. May the forlorn find hope, constant happiness and prosperity. May there be timely rains and bountiful harvests. May all medicines be effective and wholesome prayers bear fruit. May all who are sick and ill quickly be freed from their ailments, and whatever diseases there are in the world, may they never occur again. May the frightened cease to be afraid, and those bound be freed. May the powerless find power, and may people think of benefiting each other. And finally, the wish of every bodhisattva, for as long as space remains, for as long as sentient beings remain, until then, may I too remain to dispel the miseries of the world. So I think it's wonderful to be able to send out such a positive prayer for the benefit of all beings. So thank you very much for joining me. May you be well and happy, and just check our program to see what's on. Thank you very much. Have a good evening.